Welcome and thank you so much for stopping by, fellow fans of Clash of Clans. It is a new season, a new skin, a new challenge, and yes, this is one of my favorite yet to kick off the Goblin King skin. That is right, the Goblin King, not exactly what many of you thought was going to be the Goblin King, has come to Clash of Clans in the form of a hero skin rather than a level to beat in the Goblin maps, right? Okay, but make sure you get that in the first tier of your more expensive gold pass here in July. And of course, if you're purchasing the gold pass or anything in any Supercell game, please consider using code Galadon. It goes a long way to help keep the videos coming. Now, let's talk about this challenge, which I really actually enjoyed. This is one of those puzzles you must figure out challenges where there is a right way and many wrong ways to defeat this base. Now, obviously, there's more than one way to win, but there are a few things that you just can't do, like send in your goblins and expect them to get anything done down here because there are double bombs next to these two elixir collectors. So you need to think about that one. What is going to go there instead? You've got gaps in the base that are obviously meant to be used, and you have a pair of recall spells. So we know that we need to tank our way through 3 or 4 different spots in the base that are full of defenses. We have the Scattershot Expo mortar on the left, the same on the far right. We've got a double Expo in the middle, the clan castle, and then up at the top of the screen, a couple of spell towers surrounding a Town Hall 15. Now you can go ahead and fast forward to 4 minutes and 30 seconds in today's episode for the solving of the puzzle, or you can painstakingly ride along with me in what took me about 30 minutes to figure this out. So I think that's a fair amount of time. Hopefully a lot of players will figure it out on their own. It is very rewarding to finally get it right and realize that you've gotten a few of the secrets decoded. And yes, there are a few secrets, like make sure you recall your king or E-Titan before they head down these hallways and trigger all sorts of skeleton traps and bombs. And yeah, that's not good. Don't do that. That is not a way to win. So it was trial and error, and again, I love these challenges. I don't like the ones where you're supposed to copy a professional's attack. I think those are kind of just boring, and they don't really add much to the game. Now, this is another little secret that you should be able to figure out pretty early on, and that is the Electro Titan will do a great job at annihilating everybody that comes pouring out of that clan castle rather than having to deal with them individually, striking them with the king, or obviously you don't have a poison spell. So these are the things that I spent about 30 minutes going around figuring out. I also tried dropping the minions around the outside of the base, and no, there is nowhere where you can send those minions in safely on the outside of the base, but there is a secret little spot inside where you're going to get value that you absolutely need to have. Here, I thought, okay, wait a minute. This is actually after I solved it. So what I'm showing you is me going back and intentionally triggering traps and bombs. The actual figuring out part was 30 minutes of footage that ended on the cutting room floor. But while I did this, I realized there's more than one way to win this battle. And obviously the Electro Titan can single-handedly wipe out the CC. We've got recall spells, 2 of them. So I thought, let's recall on the left and on the right. Maybe the king on the left, the E-Titan on the right. You can do this multiple different ways. The king does have enough hit points with recall spells to clear both the far left and the far right sides, the mortar scattershot expo combinations, or you can use the Electro Titan, and she does live long enough to be redeployed up by the expos and then wipe out the clan castle. But again, recall before they head down those corridors, or you will have no chance at defeating the challenge. This right here is the winning attempt. Start out with 2 minions. Those minions will safely make it to the 2 elixir collectors and wipe them out. That is a big deal because it opens the pathway for the goblins, and you only have 2 of them to go down the left and the right side hallways after those 2 gold mines. In the meantime, I've dropped the king on the left and the E-Titan on the right. I am going to recall both of them before they head down their own individual hallways. And like I said, this could be done in many different ways. This is just one way to solve this puzzle. And again, I love the challenges that are puzzles. Also, think about where you drop them. You would prefer to have your units attack the Expo first before the mortar to get that damage out of the way. Now we've recalled them both. We're going to drop them in up here by the Expos with a jump spell that obviously could be better placed. I think if you move it off to the left or right, you can open up the entire compartment above and below the Expo. But here, we're going to send in the King first to tank the 2 Expos, and then the Electro Titan, and her AoE damage is just going to wipe out every single goblin. A little patience goes a long way right here as the clan castle clears and the other Expo is going to be taken down. Notice we still have the King's ability, and the King is going to use that ability now as he heads up, takes out the Town Hall and the spell towers. Now, the jump spells, again, I dropped it right there. That way they can come back down and go throughout the rest of the base. It's going to take a while, but you will have enough time if you do everything else at the same time. Now, 50%, notice bottom right of your screen, there's a single Tesla right there. Definitely want to use a lightning spell to get rid of that. And now you could have done this earlier. As soon as the clan castle was cleared, you drop your goblins down by the gem box, one on the left and one on the right. They are going to go down these hallways, and although it looks deadly and dangerous, of course, those bombs cannot catch up with the goblins. They successfully take out both of those gold mines and then continue their way down towards the very corner gold mines, triggering bombs all the way down. It looks cool, but they are harmless. Now, in the meantime, your King, he's headed out to take out the Dark Elixir storages and the Elixir storages, and luckily for you, the goblins actually get cornered up here by these walls, and that's good. You don't want them going back down, trying to help out. They will only hurt you by triggering skeleton traps that are all over the place. This does remind me a little of my own challenge that I created, in that you've got tons of traps that you need to avoid triggering. And that's it. We didn't need the final 2 lightning spells. Obviously, you could use 2 of those on one of those collectors. The King is just going to path around, take out these final storages, and we're going to pick up the win. Again, I loved this. Thank you and shout out to Sir Moose for creating a fun challenge. And these are the challenges that I want to see in Clash in the future, because they're not too hard, but they are challenging. They're rewarding when you get it done. Even more so if you got it done yourself. But thank you so much for stopping by the video and for sticking around all the way to the end. Whether or not you finish the challenge first, I appreciate you one and all. Now get out there, make the best of the rest of your day, week, month, and year. Be kind to other people, animals, and the planet. And I hope to see every last one of you back here again tomorrow for more full attacks. Galadon, I don't know what to say when you put the strange music at the end. When do I talk?